action. And the FinCom also has a recommended vote of no action. Do you have a substitute motion? Does anyone have a substitute? No substitute motions. Okay, all in favor of no action on 23, please say yes. Yes. All opposed? Haha, you lose. That terminates the debate on Article 23. We have now before us Article 24, bylaw amendment, evening park use. Recommended vote of no action. Do you have a substitute, Ms. Weaver? But there's no substitute motion. But if we don't have a substitute motion, there's nothing to speak to. I saw he had an amendment to it, but there was no substitute motion to amend. Does anyone have a substitute article for 24? Seeing none, all in favor of no action, please say yes. Yes. Opposed? No action on 24. We have now before us Article 25. Leaf blower regulation. Recommended vote of the Board of Selectmen, no action. Miss Band, please stand up, come to the front.
Carol Band, Precinct 8. I would like to move to postpone discussion on this article until Wednesday, May 9th. We do have a substitute motion.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone till Wednesday, May 9th. All in favor, please say yes. Yes. Opposed, say no. No. In my opinion, it's not postponed.
The purpose to postpone is because there are people who would like to speak on this motion who are not here tonight because we didn't anticipate that we'd be moving so quickly through all of these warrant articles.
We have 5 people arisen. We're going to take a standing vote on postponement. So she's saying that she has people who want to speak to it and they're not here. All in favor of postponing, please rise. Same tellers. Ms. Mahan up front. 1. Mr. Schlickman? 19. Mr. 40. Mr. Tremblay? 28, he thinks. Do you need to recount your section? Yeah, you got to stand up till he points at you. All right, that section recount, Mr. McCabe? 16. Got it. $25. 25. There we go. All opposed, please rise. Opposing postponement. Please rise.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ms. Mahan? 11. Mr. Schlickman? 14. 14. 10. 14. 16. 101 in favor of postponing, 34 against. It's postponed to May 9th. You ready, Ms. Payne? 65? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50. 50. It is postponed. Article 26 is before us. Establish a committee, building maintenance. Recommended vote of no action. All in favor of no action on 26, please. Any substitutes? Seeing none. All in favor of no action on 26, please say yes. Yes. Opposed? It is no action. Article 27, transfer of real property, Gibbs Junior High School. Recommend a vote. The Board of Selectmen. Place it under the temporary care, blah, 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 with the town manager. Mr. Dunn.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Dan Dunn, Board of Selectmen. Article 27 would put the control of Gibbs to continue with the town manager for another 3 years. The school committee has indicated that they still believe that this is surplus. This is essentially continuing the arrangement that exists today. There are no other changes that this motion would include, but it would extend the agreement for another 3 years.
Anyone wish to speak to us? Mr. Reddy?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Chris Loretti, Precinct 7. I think there's an error in the Selectmen's vote on this. It talks about continuing the placement of the Gibbs School with the town manager. In fact, the last time town meeting voted on this, they placed the management of the Gibbs School with the redevelopment board. And they did that because the redevelopment board in Arlington is both a planning board and a redevelopment authority, having certain powers of a redevelopment authority delegated to it under Arlington's Town Manager Act. And I think there's benefit to keeping that arrangement. And I know, this question has come up in the past as to whether the redevelopment board can maintain or manage buildings that are not part of urban renewal plans. And indeed, our former town council opined that it could. When the question came up in regard to the Crosby School and the Parmenter School, we received a different opinion from the current town council. I then checked with the Department of Housing and Community Development, because that is the department within the state that has not authority, but has familiarity with, and indeed does have some authority over redevelopment authorities within the Commonwealth. And I was assured by the person who deals with redevelopment authorities that indeed the redevelopment authorities within Massachusetts can manage properties even outside of urban renewal plans. There's two reasons why I think it is beneficial to maintain the management with the redevelopment board rather than with the town manager. The first is that redevelopment authorities were created to give cities and towns a certain amount of flexibility in the way they manage property that doesn't exist under the normal procurement and rules that apply to town governments. So that's the first reason. Second, though, is more practical in that when the management of the buildings is under the redevelopment board, it's up to the redevelopment board to pick the tenants and set the rents. And I believe that's more appropriately done with an appointed board that is free of political pressures. And I want to give you a concrete example of that as it relates in particular to the Crosby School. When those buildings were under the jurisdiction of the ARB, and prior to the last time they were turned over to the selectmen or the town manager, I can't remember which, the redevelopment board realized that the rents were the rent that was being charged was significantly below market, and very aggressively raised the rents. But for the past 2 years before the building, actually now before that building is sold, the management is under the town manager or the selectmen. The selectmen did not continue that aggressive rise in the rents, and as I estimated previously, the town lost in the tens of thousands of dollars because they did not continue the trend in the rental increases that they should have. So what I would like to do, Mr. Moderator, is move to postpone this article so that we can resolve this question. And I would like to invite the gentleman at the Department of Housing and Community Development who is most familiar with redevelopment authorities in the state, either to provide information or to perhaps actually come to town meeting to tell us more about them. Over the years, particularly with the departure of Mr. McLennan, I believe the town doesn't fully appreciate the benefits it has with having a body with the powers of a redevelopment authority in it. And I think that we really need to be educated, we really need to learn more just about why the town has that authority, how we can best use it. So I would like to move that this article be postponed to time certain 1 week from tonight.
Okay, we have a second on Mr. Lettery's postponement till 1 week from tonight, which is May 7th.
No.
That's a special.
Then can we
you
make
wanna
it
do it the 9th?
the 9th, please?
Yeah, that'd be better. Okay, motion to postpone to May 9th. All in favor, please say yes. Yes. Opposed? No. I believe it's affirmative. Okay, that one's postponed too. Mr. Loretti, I'd encourage you to speak to Ms. Rice and the manager, see if you can work your differences out in the meantime. We have before us Article 28, street name standardization. Mr. Dunn, and in the back of your selectmen's report are a whole treatise about street names.
Mr. Moderator, we have a bit of a difficulty. The town, the Board of Selectmen voted a different vote tonight. We put the R back in Albemarle, and we did not put that on everyone's chairs. We were planning on doing that on Wednesday. Would you like us to move to postpone, or would you like us to put the R on the fly?
We're going to put it in administratively. So it would be ALBERMARLE.
That is correct.
Okay, so on your recommended votes, third line down, the street name Albemarle is going to become Albemarle, and you're going to tell us why.
I'm telling you, the reason we want to do this is because we have embarked on a project to computerize everything into what we call the GIS system, Geographic Information. That is a database that is merging all sorts of information from all of our departments. So instead of having a single map being kept by the DPW and another map being kept by public safety, it's all being merged into one map. And when we did that, or we started to do that, we found out that we had different spellings of street names in different departments. One department's Albemarle was another department's Albemarle. And computers get really frustrated when you try to use two names for the same thing. So the selectmen, by some of the streets came under the jurisdiction of the Board of Selectmen, and we standardized those streets by a vote earlier this year. Some of these streets come under the purview of town meeting, and so we are asking town meeting to standardize on one street name or the other. In most of these cases, the actual choice isn't that relevant, as in it isn't like there's one that's, screams out that it's better than the other one, but it is important that we choose just one.
Do the people on Albemarle Street like Albemarle or Albemarle?
We changed to the reason the selectmen reversed course and put the R back in was because we were approached by the residents, specifically Amy Goldstein from Precinct 14 approached us last week and said, what are you doing? You're going to make me change my bills. You're going to make me change my lease. Not my lease, my deed. You're going to make me change all these things. Are you people crazy? And we said, well, yes, sometimes we are.
Anyone wish to speak to this article? Mr. Warden.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. John Warden, Precinct 8. Now, I appreciated, I thank the Town Council for this year putting all this explanatory material in the back of the report and rooting out all those ancient deeds and street takings. And it's interesting that, not me to criticize the Board of Selectmen, of course, that the Selectmen would, in 1 year, spell a street one way, and the next year they'd spell it another way. But I wanted to inquire whether anyone had put these questions to Richard Duffy, the unofficial town historian, who really knows the streets of Arlington and has written many articles on them.
Indeed, most of the appendix you wrote was provided by him.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, that's my second question. And perhaps he answered this question, but the name Waverley is a British place name, and it popularized by Sir Walter Scott's Waverley novels, which are pretty good yarns if you can wade through that Victorian English for many hours. But he spelled it with an E in it, so I wonder if Arlington should be E-less in that connection. Thank you.
Sir?
I've been corrected on my previous answer, and I apologize. Adam Karowski, who's the GIS coordinator for the town, did most of the work for the appendix. Richard Duffy did read it and approve it, and he gave us some comments, but most of the work was done by the GIS coordinator, so I apologize for answering incorrectly. As to your other question, unfortunately, I'm not equipped to answer it.
Sir? Yep. You just had your hand up? Yeah, you're up. Oh. I sometimes forget them. I know. I'm saying, oh my God, I'm
Thank you,
getting...
Mr. Moderator. Roland Chappett,
That's it.
Precinct 12. Just a quick question. There are 3 streets here that are what we're talking about. So my question is, are there other streets of the same kind of issue? I live on Grandview. It's spelled 2 ways.
Grandview is one of the streets, I can't remember, are we doing it this one tonight, or is that the one the selectmen did already? We did already. Grandview is done by a vote of selectmen.
Do we have a list of all the ones that were changed?
There were 3 that were done by the selectmen. I don't have them handy. Do we have those available?
No. Here you go. The new guy has it.
And in fact, of course, it's actually in the report, and I just didn't remember it. So Appendix A has the different streets on it. And so Albemarle, Grandview is private. Do you want to?
I'm sorry, where are you looking?
If you go through the report, and you're
Yeah.
about partway through, after the votes at the end of special town meeting, which was page 23, the next page leaps back to page 1. So you essentially think about page 24. Here, let me...
So, Mr. Chappett, Albemarle Street, Grandview Road, Mount Vernon Street, Skyline Drive, and Waverly
Yeah,
Street.
where
all
are you
being
looking?
fixed.
Oh, okay, I got it here, Appendix A. Very good, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry about forgetting your name, Rolly. Anyone else wish to speak to the article, madam?
Amy Goldstein, Precinct 14. I just want to make sure people understand that what Mr. Dunn has proposed is putting the R back in Albemarle, which is what the residents of our street want. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir? I just have trouble saying Albemarle with my Boston accent. R, it's tough.
Ray Carmichael, Precinct 18. Could we give this problem to the spelling bee champions in our schools?
Thank you. Any other debate on this article? Seeing none, all in favor of the recommended vote, please say yes. Yes. Opposed, say no. It is unanimous vote to change those street names.